This recent election really got me thinking, and not from a standpoint of like, do we have the right person or anything? I don't get into politics, but I get into there is a shift that is happening. There's a new age of influence that I don't think we're really accounting for. Think about it. Our favorite celebrities are now content creators. They're not actors. They're not music artists. Well, some still may be, but regular people are starting to become celebrities. We think about comedians. We're not necessarily finding them in the comedy clubs anymore. We're finding them on TikTok. We're finding them on Instagram, YouTube. And then when we're talking about the presidency, you don't necessarily need to be in politics anymore. You just need a platform and you need to have an amazing podcast run. No shade, no shade. But this makes me think about that it's reachable to have a certain level of power, a certain level of fame, a certain level of recognition, if you do just a few things. Now, the first one is consistency. We look at all of these people, they have been on the top of the minds for a very long time or for a certain season. If we look at Donald Trump, yes, he was known as a real estate mogul, but he really got his fame in the entertainment world when he made that show Apprentice. You know, with the "you're fired" kind of vibe, right? It was because of that that got people knowing more and more about Donald Trump. And so he took advantage of the media side of things. Think about it with the comedians. We think about Drewski. We think about DC Young Fly. I love DC Young Fly. I used to watch his videos a lot when it was like, bring your ass over here, boy.
Boy, bring that ass here, boy.
I love that, right? Shout out to B. Simone, Pretty V. There are other comedians that started and got their big fame on social media. And it's because they were consistent. Kabi with TikTok. Kabi got consistent with these videos that just was like this. He didn't say a single word. And he was just like, and we loved it, right? So one, we have to figure out our consistency. We got to figure out what are we going to do? When are we going to do it? The second part is, and I kind of alluded to it already, is the platform. What platform are we going to be on? We think about Kabi, and that's TikTok. We think about B. Simone, Instagram. We think about Donald Trump, and at the time, I believe The Apprentice was on NBC, but now he's big on X, right? And we think about Joe Rogan, and he's active in the podcast game, right? When we think about platform, we think about the election real quick. What happened is that each candidate went on different podcast platforms. And they stated their case. They had their conversations. Their appearance created thousands and millions of views. And it made a big impact, aka influence, on what had happened and what the results were from the election. So the last one I really want to talk about is community. The community is big, right? Community is absolutely big. And probably the reason why we look at some of these people as the new celebrities, as the new people with power, is because the people that they rally together. I'm not here to say the meetups and the rallies are right or wrong and who they attract. Everybody has an audience, right? Everybody has an audience. We look at Mr. Beast when he opened up Mr. Beast Burger in a mall, and there were thousands of people who showed up. Thousands of people who showed up. We look at the election. They have a community, regardless if they attract a certain kind of people or not, regardless of where it's located. They say, hey, we're going to be here. They show up. These people show up. There's a way to build community going from an online to an offline standpoint, right? When we're thinking about community and we're talking about building it from our social media following, of course, comments and the chats are a simple way of looking at community. These are people who are interacting with you and you need to acknowledge them. But then we have to take them off social media. So there's certain platforms that we got to look at, right? We got things like Discord. we have Circle, we have Mighty Networks, we have Kajabi, we have this new one called Heartbeat app that I'm actually going to look into for Lions behavior. Now, all of these are great. Now, what I will suggest is that you go and you do your research. I'm not going to tell you, I use Mighty Networks for Deeper Than the Brand. I use Circle for my mastermind, Elite Circle. And then we're going to go and look into Heartbeat because I just like trying out new things to see what works and what doesn't. But figure out what works for you in your community. People love Discord. And so if you like Discord, go on Discord. If you need something more structured, you may want to look into a Circle and a Mighty Networks. So figure out the platform that you want to do that. Create different events with them. Do you have a virtual block party? Are there calls? Are there lives? Do something. Are there different events? Create that atmosphere that they have fun to be in the community, but as well as prideful. Like they're proud to be part of it and want to go be part of it, right? This new shift of influence is happening, whether you are a person of money, like Donald Trump, whether you are a DJ, whether you are a comedian, or whether you are a person of tech like Marquez Brownlee, we're seeing regular people. And I know some of you are going to be like, Donald Trump is not regular. Take Donald Trump out of it. We can name a B. Simone, a Pretty V, DC Young Fly. We can name a Mr. Beast. We can name a Kabi. We can name multiple other content creators who are human, who had humble beginnings. A Marquez Brownlee, humble beginnings. All their videos didn't look like how they are now. But they gathered thousands of people, millions of people who rock with them. And so we are in a new age. We're in a huge new age of influence. And I'm going to ask you in the comments, are you going to be a part of that? What 3 of these things do you have to concentrate on? Is it the consistency? Is it the platform and really dominating at the platform? Is it building a community and really getting into that? We're seeing less and less of people's content. The algorithms are doing algorithm things. How are we building a community? Because I do feel like that is going to be the next real major thing of building that community. So the new age of influence is here. Are you going to be a part of it? Or are you just going to be a consumer?